Okay, we're at the Pope Towers here. I'm facing downstream into the Pope Towers tunnel. I'm going to turn around slow and I'm going to show you here the flows of Eliza Brook. That's right, this gentle trickle here is coming from Eliza Brook. We're walking upstream towards the Karsten building right now. We're taking our time, making sure we get some kind of a video that's worth showing the public. Anyhow, we're in a drought situation here. And the pond is coming up. We had rain on Thursday. However, it's not being released from the pond. We're letting the pond water come up and give us a little reserve so we can start running the ladders again. When the water level at the ladders at Whitman's Pond reaches 12 inches above the entrance, then we can start releasing. And hopefully we'll get the last of the river herring, young of the year, out of the pond. I'm going to say this once again. This is not flows coming out of Whitman's Pond. These are flows from a perennial stream known as Eliza Brook. Now, I was up to Eliza Brook the other day and I found it was flowing, and Eliza Pond looked pretty nice, though it had a lot of small lily pads. Seemed to be of a different variety that I'm used to seeing. We'll have to check that out, see if we can identify the lily pads in Eliza Pond. Now, many of you know Eliza Pond if you grew up in Jackson Square, because it provided a lot of ice hockey in the wintertime. And we had a former great grow up skating there. His name was Bobby Sheehan. He skated during the Sanderson days, Esposito and Hodge. The likes of that. Anyhow, Bobby was quite a character. He played for Montreal for a little while, but he was quite a party goer. They called him She Cat, and he was about my age. And he hung around with people I knew, but I wasn't in that crowd. I was following a different path, so to speak. So, thank goodness for the waters of Eliza Brook. They are critical in these times of drought, but they're providing sustenance to the middle part of this run. You'll see once we start up elevation and pass the pipe that allows outflow from Eliza Brook, you'll see water conditions change drastically. Anyhow, this is keeping a lot of, not fish life alive, but I'm not seeing any fish life to speak. I did see something swim away from me. I couldn't identify it. However, turtles, all are probably hanging out in this area and enjoying the flows of Eliza Brook. Yeah, it's amazing that Eliza Brook is running, and whereas we don't have enough water to run our herring run. Our herring run is shut down. Our fish ladders in the upper part of the run have no water coming out of them. And it's sad. It really is, because I think we could have prevented a little bit of this low flow and in the herring run by declaring a water ban a little earlier. You see, we did declare a water ban finally, but it didn't take effect till the 1st of September. We use a lot of water here in the summertime on lawns and gardens, and the town didn't want to put a water ban in until September 1st. Water's a big profit, and the town didn't want to lose any of those profits, so they chose to hold off on the water ban until September 1st. That's when most people stop using outside water anyhow. However, I'm sure it helps a little bit. Still not supposed to wash your vehicles and whatnot. Fill your swimming pools. Now, we're going underneath Pleasant Street right now. There's a little tunnel here that it shows no water. That tells me proof positive that the flows we just witnessed were from Eliza Brook. And the flows going up to the Karsten building have ceased. These are flows that would have been provided for by the outflow of Whitman's Pond. Excuse me for the... I'm bent over filming here. This is a low bridge, so to speak of. And I'm making my way forward. I hope nothing bites me. I won't be prepared for that. Anyhow, it's worth it to bring you this video and show you just what droughts can do to a herring run. I haven't mentioned it yet, but we haven't seen a drought like this since 2010. They seem to be coming more frequently now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, part of the infrastructure here. I don't know if it's a water line or a gas line. I'm hoping it's not a gas line. I hope I can get under this safely. Anyhow, a little rough on the video here, but I'm moving forward. And now, just bang my head. Holy crap. I hope this is worth the effort. Anyhow, I made it through the tunnel that goes under Pleasant Street. And I'm behind some houses that are on Iron Hill Street. As you can see, we got a little bit of tree removal here. We'll have to clean this up come springtime, or before that. Whenever we can find time, we'll button this up. Certainly not part of the norm. We had a thunderstorm back a few weeks ago. It lasted only about 10 minutes, but it came through the area with high winds. I'm sure some of you experienced that, as I did. Caused a little bit of a havoc in the garden. However, it recovered from that. And now we're pushing up. There's another little trickle of water we're encountering now. And it's just a trickle. But it shows you that these are indeed perennial streams. Both Herring Run Brook and Eliza Brook are perennial. I have to speak to conservation and make sure that Eliza Brook is deemed perennial. We don't want to see it marked as intermediate. It's way too important to the herring run. And the species that live in the herring run during drought situations. Sorry about all this. Seem to be breathing a little bit hard. I have neoprene waders on today. And I'm a little bit hot. Although it's not hot out. Yeah, we're making our way up to the ladder at the Karsten building. Oh, I'm going to zoom in a little bit to give me a little better look. Yeah. And I'm going to zoom out a little. I'm going to show you the nice trees we got here along this section of the brook. This canopy is absolutely critical, not only for the bird species that feed on herring, but for the coolness that they offer the brook. Cool waters mean more oxygen, and more oxygen certainly helps herring on their climb to Whitman's Pond. Our little brook here is just under a mile long to the pond, but it climbs in elevation 72 feet. It's sort of like hiking on the backside of Mount Washington, or the Great Gulf of Mount Washington, where all of a sudden you hit a head wall, and in 3/4 of a mile you climb an elevation of a couple of thousand feet. Well, I certainly know what that feels like, resting every 100 foot because of the weight of a 50-pound pack was exhausting that particular day. You see, we were hiking the Appalachian Trail. We started in Maine and we ended up down in Shenandoah National Park, just the other side of Shenandoah, a place called Rockfish Gap. Yeah. Oh, here's the poor ladder at the Karsten building. I can't run fish, even young of the year fish on this ladder. There's just no flows here. But I'm going to show you something that you don't know about. And that's this particular flow right here. This little trickle. This little trickle that we have here. Is coming out from underneath a pipe. Oh God, we got the loud dogs here. They own the place. Anybody that's visited the ladders at the Karsten buildings, they surely know about these guys. Anyhow, we're making our way slowly but surely up to an area where this water is coming from. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she finally called the dogs in. Isn't that nice? Alright, so we'll continue with the video in quietness. And here's the trickle. Here's where that little trickle of water is coming from. Right here. And there used to be an outflow pipe coming out from underneath the building. And that outflow pipe was for power generation. You see the water flowed down from Iron Hill, which is 30 feet above this location. and provided the source of power for generation. Anyhow, I find that this water is cold, so it's coming from an underground source. It's probably following that old pipe down from Iron Hill. Anyhow, we're moving back down stream a bit, and we're going to pick it up at the other side of this fish ladder.